Want to have some fun today? I have a question for you. If there was a genie in a box that came out and said, "Hello, would you like to have control over life?" Big question. Would you say yes or no? And take a moment, please. Notice your first answer. And then be quiet a moment. Maybe close your eyes along with me. What does control mean? It means you would decide who's right or who's wrong. You would put people in office. You would make sure no harm came to some people. You'd have control over life and death and the weather. What do you think? Well, here's my point. When we decide who's right and who's wrong, and it's very, very natural, it's part of our conditioning, the way we've all grown up, even though we've had different families, different situations, different communities. But there's one thing about this world that we all partake in, and that's that there is an emphasis in our culture and in our upbringing to get, to have more, to be more, to do right, or if not to do right, to know right from wrong, even if you're in a family that decides that stealing is a good thing. Let's just make that up. Then in that family, let's say the kids are taught to steal fruit from the fruit stand, and the older kids are taught to take their needs from the drugstore, and on. The parents avoid taxes. They don't claim their income. You get the picture. But even in that family, they're being taught that right is stealing, getting the stuff for yourself, right? I mean, I even used the word right. So you get the picture. We have a defense of our positions. We're taught, in school, we say, what were you thinking? And you're supposed to be thinking of right from wrong, or good from bad, or smart from stupid. You see what I'm saying? The young brain has only that simple way, and we all still have the young brain, because when we're scared or we're traumatized or confused, we very rarely see things from both sides. We might contemplate both sides for a decision for ourselves, but we rarely are capable of seeing things from the other person's point of viewing. That's my point. And by assuming that we know right from wrong, we're judging the people who don't have that position. So take that ridiculous example of the family that teaches people in their family to steal. They think that people who pay for their goods are stupid. They're the right ones, the others are foolish. Foolish meaning wrong. Why should you pay when you can get it for free? Especially if you don't have enough money, and then you have a defense about the government, this and that, or you couldn't get a job, or you were cheated. We develop our whole lives. I know this, my example doesn't relate to most of you, but take it into your own lives and see how you defend your personality, see how you defend your position, and see how wrong other people seem to you. Now let's go back to that original question. Would you take ultimate control of life if the genie could give it to you? You might have said no. You wouldn't want that power. And yet, what are we doing when we judge people as though we know how it should be, as though we know the big picture of right and wrong? Let me ask you, does it lead to more freedom inside you to be in control and judge situations and people? Most of us would agree that it feels awful to be judged. And yet we judge from the moment we wake up till the moment we go to sleep if we don't intervene in our thinking. So I guess that's what I'm trying in my own way to bring you to a possibility. What would it be like if you heard an alarm every time you were judging and go back to, I don't know? Now, when it's up to you to judge in the sense of make a decision, of course, make the decision. Yes to this, no to that. But that's different than judging. Judging comes with an attitude. I spoke last time about a condescension within us when we believe and know, quote unquote, that we are right. So we still can make the aligned decision and get out of right and wrong. So would you be willing to experiment and see if there's more freedom if you step out of right and wrong? But here's the thing. You have to not judge yourself either if you're going to experiment. Because if you're glamoring, what's the word? Yammering all day long inside your head about how you should have done this better and you could have done that, and what if blah, 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 blah. You won't feel the freedom that I am suggesting to you. So would you be willing? Would you be willing to judge less and let it go and really step into, I do not wish to be in control? Now, if your answer was yes, you would like to be in control, then play it out. How will it feel when you decide who dies and who lives? Because there will be a certain physicality. You can't just decide everybody continues to live. That wouldn't work in the earth. So do you really want that power? Please write to me if you do want to have that power and the consequent responsibility. And if you don't, are you willing to play with letting it go? That doesn't mean you won't, if you decide to play, you won't judge again. You will, but play in a playful way and say, no, no, thank you. I don't wish to feel miserable and go down that booby trap. So hit reply and let me know how it's going. I love hearing from you. Bye for